Butler finds Duncan Robinson up, fakes on Rob Williams. Grant Williams dogs it. So here comes the answer to Bam Adebayo. Strips the ball by Marcus Smart. Grant Williams dives to the floor and has it. And the Celtics, who didn't force steals all year long, have forced a ton of them tonight. Tatum in the paint. Kick out. Marcus wants that knockout three. Got it.
Boy, that dude is cooking.
Welcome into Celtics Postgame Live, presented by New England Ford Dealers and Ford Trucks. Scalabrine and Eddie House, Amina Smith here with you. The Celtics win Game 5, 110-97 against the Miami Heat in this series, which was once down 3-0. It's now 3-2. Marcus Smart, I'll say it again. He said, do not let us steal one. And Scal, they were able to steal another one here in TD Garden.
I thought there was going to be a tremendous amount of pressure on the Celtics today. They did not play like that. Now, going down to Miami, blowing them out the last two games, Miami's going to feel that heat. That's pun intended.
Pun intended. I like that right there. One thing about it, they shared the basketball, but they got stopped. 13 steals. Again, that's the key to this team. The key to this team is playing harder than the Miami Heat because you are the more talented team. You are the longer, more athletic team with the most talent. So you have to match and exceed their intensity, right? So you do that, you have a chance to win every single game that you play against them.
No, you should win.
You should win
every game.
You should win every single, and you more than likely will if you do that, because the only time you get beat when you have so much talent and the other team is not, they play harder than you.
Yeah.
They get to all the 50 balls, the loose balls, they dive on the ground. We've been doing that the last two games. We've been the more desperate team, and we're the more talented team. So big-time game coming up in Miami. A lot of pressure on the Heat.
Let's take a look at what the Celtics were up against coming into this Game 5 matchup. It's presented by the Massachusetts Health Connector. Stay in the game and get covered at mahealthconnector.org. The Celtics become just the 15th team in NBA history to force a Game 6 after trailing 3-0, and only 3 teams have forced a Game 7 after trailing 3-0, and no NBA team has won a series after trailing 3-0. And Scal, I was telling you off camera, I'm picking Celtics in 7. I feel like the way that this team is looking right now, the way they're connected out there on the floor, playing like how they've been playing in the regular season, that team can win this series in 7 games. I mean, could this team make history? I'm already believing that they could be the team to make history being down 3-0.
The thing is, they don't got to do anything crazy. All they got to do is go out there, play hard, be aggressive, understand your role, and play through your star. Jason Tatum set the tone in this game. The rest of the role players followed. Jaylen Brown defensively was amazing. He got out in transition. That's what they should do every game, and that's why people think, or at one point, the Celtics were the favorite to win the championship. So, I mean, when you watch the game, the talent discrepancy is huge.
Yeah.
So all they got to do is go out there and play hard.
On top of playing hard, it's also being disciplined, right? Be disciplined in whatever the game plan is in your role. Be disciplined. Don't try to play hero ball. Don't try to do anything outside of what the exact job is. You know what the exact job is? Play harder than them. And if your job is to stay in the corner, stay in the corner.
Correct.
Don't leave the guy. Don't give them open shots. What I've seen from the Miami Heat is they've struggled to take shots and make shots when we've been disciplined defensively. The only time they get really, really great looks is when somebody breaks down and does something that they shouldn't be doing that we know that wasn't in the game plan. But when you look at the way that this team is playing with, they just look like they're on a different mission.
Right.
2 different teams from 3 games to these 2 games.
Yeah, and it looks like everybody is doing their job on this Celtics team. And one guy who's been doing his job good as of late, that's Grant Williams. He's with Abby Chin after this matchup.
Grant, that's 2. What made the difference tonight?
Physicality on the defensive end from the start. Smart set the tone in the first play of the game, which set our defense up for the rest of the game. And we got to just continue that pressure, holding them to under whatever, I think it was 90 points in the middle before they subbed everybody out. Just making sure they don't have any room to get any scores off. And just continue to play great offense. Take our open looks and be aggressive.
Joe talked so much about margins. How would you describe the effort on the boards tonight?
It's been huge. Al did a tremendous job attacking the offensive glass. Myself, Rob, Derek, everybody's just making sure that we get extra possessions. Understanding that to beat this team, you have to play harder. You have to play hard as heck, and that's all our job is.
And then 11 assists for Jason Tatum. How was he able to impact the game at every level?
Yeah, he's doing a phenomenal job of just dissecting the defense. He's doing a good job playing with pace, playing with poise, and really remembering exactly what we want to accomplish on that end of the ball. It's not necessarily always going to be him scoring. Sometimes it's going to be him passing. Even though he scored tonight, let's just say there might be a game where he doesn't need to and everybody else takes care of him. So, and then D. White played his ass off.
We heard some Celtics in 7 chants as well. What was the energy like in the building?
The energy was tremendous. We got to do our job to make sure we get it back here. That's number one goal. Take care of the next game, one game at a time. We can't look too far ahead. Ouch. And make sure that we got. Good job, Grant. We got to make sure we take this one game at a time and make sure that we just make sure we stay together, honestly.
Get some work on that. Thank you, Grant. Congratulations.
Yep.
Poor Grant taking a beating right there in the hallway by the guys.
It happens like that.
Everybody's excited though. That's why you're seeing stuff like that. The Celtics, they came out of the gate swinging in this matchup. In the first half, they were up by 17 points. Eddie, how did that set the tone for this matchup for them to get this win?
Well, they took care of the basketball, number one, right? Maximized their opportunities on the offensive end. And then defensively, they just got after it. I felt like, diving on the ball right here, Marcus Smart, diving on the ball for the loose ball. Now they're out to the races. You're not playing against a set Miami Heat defense that loves to load up against Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And then just moving the basketball, passing up a good shot to get a great shot, making sure the passes is on time, on target. I thought the first half set the tone, but it just was a carryover from Game 4. That's all this was. And now what they need to do is take that same momentum, same energy, and carry it over into Game 6.
I love the way that Tatum played today. I love the 11 assists. I thought right from the start, he's like, I got to get other players around me going. But he didn't do it just by standing on the three. He was aggressive, getting downhill, drawing two, and moving it. So I really believe this. I think our Celtics follow Tatum. The way he goes is how we go.
Yeah.
And I thought that his mindset in the start of this game carried over. I never felt like Tatum took possessions off. So all of a sudden, at the end of the game, he's sitting there with 11 assists. And as a team, we look so much better than the Heat.
And Paul Pierce talked about it in the pregame show, is that Jason Tatum taking what the game is given, whether that's scoring on the defensive end, whether that's playmaking. Eddie, it really looked like the game came to Jason Tatum tonight.
Yeah, he only took 16 shots, right? That's a superstar player that's allowed to go out there and get 25, 30 looks if he wants to, especially in a game that could be a closeout game at the end of your season. But instead, what did he do? He got everybody else involved. Played the right way. But I think, and I keep harping on this, the right way to play is starting on the defensive end. And once you start that way and start playing in that fashion, because you're giving up, if on the defensive end, you're giving up yourself. Yeah. And if you're giving up yourself on the defensive end, it's so much easier to do that on the offensive end. And it seems like this team is, everybody's eating, right? Four players with 20 points,
right.
20-plus points. They love seeing other guys get off. And that's a huge thing right there. When your star player love to see the role players get off or other guys scoring, that's a big thing to me with this basketball team.
And I really think that the defense fueled the offense tonight. We saw that the Celtics, they were getting stops, they were getting blocks, and they were contesting shots. Scout, what level did the Celtics play at defensively to get this win?
They have the personnel to do it. It's not like this team that can't guard. Like everyone on this team, when Brad Stevens put this team together, he said, can you first guard your yard? So the personnel is there. But the only thing is, today they had an emphasis to do it. Other nights they don't. But if they do this, then it's going to be hard for Miami to score. They're just not that talented offensively. Now, discipline, they move the ball, they're patient. But sometimes if you push them up against that clock and a guy guards their yard, and then you take that stop and you transition to the other side, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to be in trouble playing the Celtics if they're allowed to guard like this.
Well, let's hear what Joe Mazzulla had to say after this when he's with Abby Chin downstairs.
Joe, you guys led wire to wire. How would you describe, what did you see from the defensive end?
We just had an intentionality and a physicality about us. And when we do that, that leads to our offense, and our guys stay locked in and play together.
4 guys with 21 plus. What kind of balance? What does that do for you?
Yeah, just it spreads the floor. It allows us to move the ball and play together. And I think when that happens, we play even harder on defense.
I mean, it was raining threes in that first quarter. Is there a difference in the shot quality from the first 3 games?
No, but I do think we're moving the ball better, and I do think we're competing harder at the defensive end.
What's the message coming out?
One game at a time.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks.